Tandem Nomads, episode 235. Managing your finances is one of those important activities in your business. However, I know that sometimes it can feel a little confusing or daunting to even know where to get started. So let me help you with this in this episode. Hello, Nomad Nation. Welcome to Tandem Nomads, the podcast show and entrepreneurship platform where you can find great inspiration and tips to grow a successful portable business and thrive in your global nomadic life. This is your host, Emel Deregi. I'm a business and marketing coach and the founder of Tandem Nomads. This episode is part of a series where I answer the questions of the audience of Tandem Nomads, you, Nomad Nation. So I'm really grateful that so many of you have been sharing some amazing questions, and I've decided to put this challenge to myself to answer one question in each episode and give you as much value as I can in 15 minutes or less. So Nomad Nation, if you have a burning question that you want me to address in order to help you start or grow your portable business, make sure to go to the show notes of this episode where you will find a link to drop your question. Find this link on tandemnomads.com/235. So the question of this week is from Gina, who is asking, how should I keep track of my business finances? Thank you so much, Gina, for this question, and I'm excited to answer it for you today. But also, I'm really excited because I've prepared for you something really special, something that I usually only share with my clients. But for you, I will share it today, which is a programmed Excel sheet that I have prepared to help you automatically keep track of your finances, but also have a tool to make you accountable throughout the process of growing your business. I do believe that it's so important to be very clear about your financial goals, but as well as manage your finances in an effective way. And the earlier you start, the more equipped you will be when your business grows and when the finances becomes more complicated to keep track of. So I'm going to give you some tips today about how to do that, but I also highly recommend you to go to the show notes of this episode and download the Excel sheet that I prepared for you so that you can keep track of what I'm sharing with you today. So go to tandemnomads.com/235 and download this Excel sheet so that you can maybe visualize then what I will tell you about the different things you can do to keep track of your finances. Before I dive into this topic, there's one thing that I have noticed working over the years with so many solo entrepreneurs that happens really often, and I want to help you to avoid that mistake so that you can really start with the right foundations right away. And that is mixing your business and your personal finances in the same bank account. So if you want to avoid mistakes and also keep track of your business growth, I highly recommend you that you open a business account that is dedicated 100% to your business. That is the safest thing you can do, first of all, in terms of taxes, in terms of monitoring your finances, but also to make it easy for you to see how well you are doing. When you start, you might not have a lot of cash in hand, so you probably will need to define a certain amount of money that you put into a business. Actually, this is how most of companies are founded at the beginning, is by inserting some cash from your own pocket to get started. So defining that amount and putting it in your business account can also help you then keep things clean and also manage your finances and see how you're doing as you move forward. Sometimes you might need to add a bit more cash, but that is okay as well, as long as you are actually doing it proactively rather than keeping spending from your personal account without really keeping track of how much of that personal money is going into your business. So that is the first big tip that I have for you. The second big tip that I have for you is to use as early as possible an online tool to help you automatically keep track of your finances. So I mentioned to you just before my Excel sheet to help you with that, But on top of that Excel sheet, I highly recommend you to synchronize your business account with an online tool, an online accounting tool to help you keep track of things. So I'm going to recommend you two tools that I've been using, but they are really specialized to the American market. And I know that they also help clients abroad and worldwide. However, the one big thing I want to highlight is that depending on which country your business is founded in, sometimes you have some clear rules to follow. And that is also related sometimes to the tool you use. In some countries, they really highly recommend you or even force you to have one of those accounting tools. So make sure to do some research around the country where you live and where your business is and see what are the tools that most solo entrepreneurs use in the country where your business is based. But in my case, for example, I highly recommend this tool called QuickBooks or FreshBooks. These are really direct competitors. They have advantages and disadvantages, both of them, but they are very similar. So I highly recommend these tools, QuickBooks or FreshBooks, and they have different formulas. You can start with the cheapest one, and as you grow, you can then increase your package to fit to your business needs. And as I said before, start as early as possible. Even if you're not making any money yet, start keeping track of your finances right away and start with, as soon as possible, if it's not already the case, with separating your personal with your business finances. This is really important. And there are also some great advantages on top of keeping things clear and easy to manage is actually in terms of taxes. It will be so much easier for you to do your tax returns when you have to do them, but also to count in your expenses right away and easily so that you can deduct them from your taxes. This is really important. Also, if you buy, for example, a computer, some materials, all of that will go into your business assets. And in accounting, business assets are really important to show the strength of your business, as well as when you, for example, need a loan or any other aspects of managing your taxes and declaring your taxes. So I'm not going to go into details of the accounting aspect. You want to talk to an accountant to check all that implications of what business assets can offer to your business. But definitely this is something to keep track of. All those investments that you put into your business can be a great advantage for you. And the third tip before I go into what you can do on a regular basis is to actually hire a bookkeeper. If you can't afford to hire a bookkeeper, then just do it and give away that hassle to somebody else. I highly recommend you to do that. The earlier you start with a professional to help you manage your accounting, the better it will be for you on the long term. Now, even if you do what I shared with you now, keep your business separate from your personal, make sure to use an online tool for your accounting and use a bookkeeper, it does not take away from you the importance to be aware of your finances and be proactive and accountable to really keep track on a regular basis of your financial situation in your business, but as well as your goals. This is something that's really important, is to actually set up your goals and make sure that you are reaching them. So I'm going to help you through the Excel sheet that is attached to this episode through a process that I use to help my clients and that I use myself to keep track of the finances. So the first step for that is to actually set up your goals, as I said. And I have a whole episode where I teach you how to set up your goals realistically. So I will make sure to put the link of this episode in the show notes, and you will be able to go into details. It's also a very short episode where I guide you through how to really measure your goals in a realistic way. So once you do that, what you want to do is to define what is your yearly revenue goal for that year. And when you do that, you will put it on top of that Excel sheet below the date of the year. So you will see in the Excel sheet, there is a section that's highlighted in yellow. You put that total goal for the year right there, and then you will see that automatically the Excel sheet will calculate how much revenue you still have to achieve to be able to reach that goal. The next step after that is to break down your yearly goal into monthly goals. So you will see in the Excel sheet there is one line per month. What you want to do next to it is to write down your goal for each month. So here, very important, you want to sit down and strategize once a year to figure that out. But it doesn't mean that that number cannot change throughout the year. Things might happen along the year, so feel free to adapt your monthly goal as you go. But also, it doesn't have to be always the same amount every single month. You might know in your business, so there are some seasons that are more active than others. You know that there's some months that usually clients might be more active in buying your type of product or service. So make sure to know your business and have a good estimate of what you think each month could bring you. And again, this is all when you start in business. This can be very arbitrary, and that is okay. You will know as you grow your business what you can really realistically expect to achieve, but you lose nothing but starting with an estimate and then adjusting as things move forward. Then you will find two sections into this Excel sheet, the one with keeping track of your income and the second one with keeping track of your expenses. So with your income, what you want to do is also to make sure that you differentiate what you think you're going to make or what you expect to have because you have sent an invoice versus what you actually have in your bank account. So you will see there's a section called planning where, for example, you have upcoming invoices and there you can describe what kind of product you sold, what kind of clients you had. And once you receive the money, then you can put it in your brutto amount. What I call brutto amount means the amount without the transaction fees. You can then next to it add the transaction fees and it will give you your net amount. And once you do that, you also want to then measure your expenses. And here you will see that you have fixed expenses. Every business has fixed expenses. So you want to have one column per fixed expenses that will help you really measure how much money do you have to, on a regular basis, spend every month. And then you might have other expenses that you can add as well right there. So when you enter those figures, the Excel sheet will automatically update the number that you have to achieve in terms of goal to reach your goal and also your totals for each category. So this is all automated and it's fantastic. But the key here, the key message I want to share with you is to make it an activity, make it a commitment for your business to actually sit down at least once a month and block minimum 15 to 20 minutes to go through your revenue and enter all these numbers on a monthly basis. And you will see, I promise you that when you do that, it will bring a whole different energy in your business. When you know where you are financially in your business, you will take the right actions and have the right motivations to do all the rest and have the clarity to know exactly what you have to focus on in your business. So my big message to you in this episode, and thank you, Gina, for this great question, is no matter how much money you make, and even if you don't make any money, I highly recommend you to start from the get-go to get the right habits and really make it a mandatory business activity to sit down and track your finances, even when you don't have yet a lot of income coming in. And start from the beginning to have the right habits and use the right tools so that when you grow, it becomes really much easier for you to have a clean slate and have a clean status of your finances, and also make it easy for you as you grow to manage your taxes and also communicate the important information. For instance, if you decide to use a bookkeeper. And as I said, even if you have an accountant or a bookkeeper, you want to take this habit to go through the process that I shared with you through this Excel sheet. So Nomad Nation, I hope that this was helpful for you. Make sure to download this Excel sheet. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me in the show notes of this episode or on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram and DM me if you have any questions. I look forward to hearing from you and listening to all your great insights and highlights about this episode. Again, go to tandemnomads.com/235 and find out all these resources that are prepared for you. I can't wait to meet you in the next episode. Stay tuned to turn your challenges into great opportunities.